New York City's pension funds and the state of Oregon, both of whom are invested in their Fox News Corporation to the tune of, in terms of New York City, $28 million. State of Oregon had about $5.2 million in shares of Fox. Now they're mad, specifically for their behavior in 2020. So this is a lawsuit which was filed under seal in the Delaware Court of Chancery, and named Fox Corporation board members and its executives as defendants, and accused the media company of having, quote, chosen to invite robust defamation claims with potentially huge financial liability and potentially larger business repercussions, rather than disappoint viewers of Fox News. In other words, deliver for, again, the shareholders, and it's not good for my dollar, it's not good for my money when you're catching all these lawsuits. The New York City Comptroller Brad Lander said in a statement, Fox's board of directors has blatantly disregarded the need for journalistic standards and failed to put safeguards in place despite having a business model that invites defamation litigation. A business model that invites defamation litigation is brilliant. A lack of journalistic standards and a proper strategy to mitigate defamation has clearly harmed Fox's reputation and threatened their bottom line and long-term profitability. What about Oregon? So their Attorney General, Ellen Rosenblum, said something similar. In a separate statement said, the board of Fox Corporation took a massive risk in pursuing profits by perpetuating and peddling known falsehoods. The directors' choices exposed themselves and the company to liability and exposed their shareholders to significant risks. That is the crux of our lawsuit, and we look forward to making our case in court. Here's my question, Mondale. Let's keep going. Dominion, Smartmatic, what about on behalf of millions of immigrants in this country? What about on behalf of, I don't know, Black Americans who've been demonized by Fox News year after year after year? What about AOC being defamed? What about all of the people that they have basically defamed? Can we get some class action situation going on here?
I mean, I think we're literally looking at the basis, the footsteps for it. I mean, like when the attorney said the mob boss does not tell you specifically how and when to do it, when you're saying and demonizing Black men the way you demonize it, I feel like I have a lawsuit against Fox, me and all the other Black men in this country, right? Like, and we should absolutely be everybody except for the Black men who go on Fox. They don't have a lawsuit, like they excluded from the class action. And then other people as well. I mean, other groups should absolutely join suit. I'm being facetious, but not really. Right. I mean, like this is absolutely how we get rid of the problems that our government will not regulate.
Yeah, and it's also kind of a bigger question as to boards themselves, right? Corporate boards themselves notoriously do not have workers in those corporations on the board. That has been a push from many advocacy organizations to try and get, Amazon workers on the board of Amazon, Microsoft workers, whatnot. Like this would be huge, because if people are also invested, then suddenly we have actually a little bit more legs to stand on. Obviously, corporations don't want this when it comes to our dollar, right? If workers are getting a certain share right now, UAW is asking for their prosperity and the workers' prosperity to be tied to the profits being made by the big three automaker companies, right? Then they suddenly have more, let's say, political and economic cachet to bring some kind of lawsuit like this. So it sucks that it has to be the people who are invested in Fox News Corporation who have this, at least the money and the leg to stand on to bring these lawsuits. But I feel like it could bode well for the future of democratizing corporate boards, and then also, yes, bringing class action lawsuits against, look, if we can't get any kind of federal regulation, if like the FCC can't come down on Fox for peddling disinformation, then like bringing lawsuits is the last resort here.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think this is the way. It seems like this may be the only way we're gonna hold these people accountable, board members of these companies and also these large corporations. And I think this is beautiful if you can consider what we know now about corporate crimes. Like they're at a lower rate being prosecuted now than they were 4 years ago. So I think America is super litigious. Let's see what we can do for the people and how we can create funds. Maybe reparations come from these corporations. They benefited from slavery anyway and all other harms.